This episode is brought to you by Pepsi Wild Cherry. Pepsi Wild Cherry is bursting with delicious cherry flavor and a sweet, crisp taste that gives you more to go wild for. Getting wild may look different these days, but whether it's opting for a solo Friday binge watch or a big night out, everyone can indulge in their wild side with Pepsi Wild Cherry. Also available in Zero Sugar. So grab a Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Planet Fitness Black Card is packed with perks, not like other gyms.
Hi, can I bring a friend to work out? Oh, okay. Is my membership good at other locations? Okay. Do you have any other amenities?
But at Planet Fitness, the PF Black Card gets you tons of perks. Bring a friend for free anytime. Access to any of our 2,500 plus locations. Relax in the hydro massage and so much more. Join for just $1 down, $24.99 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends March 15th. See Home Club for details.
Now, before we start our chat, we want you to head over to serieachronicles.com/Patreon now and subscribe to the Chronicles Tifosi membership with a free 7-day trial. Get priority access to every episode and voice note before the rest of the world. Plus, no ads and bonus Patreon-only exclusive episodes and video episodes. Also, be sure to join the new chat community in the Patreon app and chat with fellow subscribers.
And then there were 6. Nikki here with a little quick voice note reaction to Lazio going out of the Champions League. The first Italian team to go out of Europe this season, which is kind of mad that we're through to the last 16 of the Champions League. It's going to be the last 16 of the Europa and Europa Conference Leagues coming up this week. And we hadn't seen any Italian teams at all going out before. Lazio tonight, I don't have many redeeming things to say about the performance tonight. I've just been covering the game for Stan Sport in Australia, and it was interesting because during the second half I had Archie Rintut, who's a journalist who covers German football for Stan and for others as well, was texting me and going, "Oh, can I go on hard on Lazio?" And I was saying, truthfully, Archie, I think this leg is much more what those of us in Italy expected from Lazio than the first leg was. I think a lot of us were surprised that Lazio were able to be so competitive against Bayern in the first leg. I think we were impressed. But the reality is this is much closer to what we've seen from them domestically for a lot of this season. They are 9th in the table. On the main show this week, we did talk about some positives. We talked about the fact they were competitive in their performance against Milan, perhaps unfortunate to lose that game. But the reality is they aren't scoring goals, and they haven't been scoring goals all season. 32 goals in 27 games. And that's fewer than Frosinone have, for instance. Perhaps that's a bad example because Frosinone are pretty good at scoring for a team that's fighting relegation, but it's also only the same number of goals that Sassuolo have. Sassuolo are 19th in the table. Lazio are not scoring goals easily this season, and we've talked that to death on the podcast. So much of it just comes back to when you take away a player as integral to everything that you do in an attacking sense, as Sergej Milinkovic-Savic was for Lazio. When you take that out, it's very hard to replace, and Lazio haven't replaced it. I thought that the return of Zaccagni in this tie in the second leg, because of course he missed the first leg, I thought Zaccagni being back in this game and being in the starting 11 could have an impact. Sarri did say before the game, look, he's only just back, he's not in full fitness, and Sarri was making that case for Vecino as well. I think that perhaps that's reflecting the fact that Zaccagni comes off in the second half, and I actually think Zaccagni was in that first half a little bit of a thorn in Bayern's side. It was him who played that ball over for Immobile that really is, I guess, the sliding doors moment of this second leg in the first half. The chance for Immobile about half an hour in, when Zaccagni does the classic Zaccagni move, the same move that Lorenzo Insigne always did for Maurizio Sarri's Napoli teams, the right-footed left winger coming in, looking for that ball over the top. For Napoli, it was always Insigne looking for Jose Callejon, but here it was Zaccagni picking out Immobile at the far post, and Immobile missed the target, and that is the moment in this tie you think, because at the time it's 0-0 on the night, it's 1-0 to Lazio on the tie, and maybe, just maybe, if that goes in, then we have a whole different story. And I know it's easy to poke at Immobile and say, oh, this is him on the big occasions and he never does it for Italy, but actually taking a step back, this is his second season playing in the Champions League with Lazio. He's had 2 goes at this with Lazio, and in those 2 seasons before this game, I think he'd scored 9 goals in 12 Champions League games. So his Champions League goal scoring record has been perfectly good since he got back to Rome. And if he takes that opportunity, who knows? I think you can turn that on its head. You can give credit to the defender who gets a touch on it. I'm off the top of my head not remembering. I think it might have been De Ligt. But whoever it was that gets that little touch makes it harder for Immobile. I think it's also not irrelevant that when they showed the stats of who'd covered the most ground, just distance travelled in the first half, Immobile was second highest amongst Lazio's players, or had already covered 6 kilometres. And I think that this is a conversation sometimes with strikers. Actually, you don't want your striker to be feeling tired the moment that he's got that big chance. I'm not trying to make excuses for Immobile, because he's played enough games and run enough kilometres to be able to handle things. But I do think games come down to fine margins, and perhaps that's part of playing without the ball for 2 legs, part of always being the team having to do the chasing. So there was that sliding doors moment. I think if Immobile scores, then we have a very different experience in this tie, a different game, certainly. Bayern chasing, and we'll see if the rest of the Italians can keep things going. But for now, that's it from me, and we'll be back with Mina's chat with Phil Kitromilides about those upcoming Italy-Spain Champions League ties before the weekend.
Head to SerieAchronicles.com/Patreon now and subscribe to the Chronicles Tifosi Patreon membership with a free 7-day trial. Get early access to every full-length episode and voice note before the rest of the world. Plus, all episodes are 100% ad-free. And you get bonus Patreon-only exclusive episodes, video episodes, and behind-the-scenes extras. Also, be sure to join the new chat community in the Patreon app and chat with fellow subscribers.
Sports Social Podcast Network.